Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Let's Talk with Glow, brought to you proudly by Copper Studio. And of course, you can follow this podcast by tuning in to our channel, Everyday Nigerian. And today, as always, promises to be very exciting. Today promises to be entertaining and intuitive. And you know that by default, I always cross 7 rivers, 7 seas, but this time around I've added 7 miles to it to bring you juicy content and also bring you nice guests that are going to help us dissect this topic. So today is not going to be any different. We are going to be discussing a topic that says cyberbullying and the threat to freedom of speech. And I have a gentleman and a lady here to help out to dissect this topic. And as I always say, that when we are into this topic, we are now going to know if this guy is truly a gentleman or not, right? So without further ado, let us make welcome our guests. And I'm going to start from my right. People sitting at the right hand, complete it yourself. So we have a very beautiful lady by my right. Her name is Cynthia. Cynthia, can you say hi to the camera?
Hi.
Why are you sounding so posh? Okay, so Cynthia is a tech sis. Cynthia, can you just give us like 20 seconds of what you do?
Okay. My name is Cynthia Homeri, and I'm a tech sis. I work as a technical support specialist.
That's where the money is, right?
Trying.
Okay, so I can send you my wallet. You can, right? Okay, let's just go ahead. So the guy is I don't know why he's smiling. His name is Kelechi Orji, and he is also a tech bro. Kelechi, can you say hi to the camera?
Hi, camera.
Did you have to add hi camera? Okay, can you give us just a 20-second run? Okay. What do you do?
So I'm a technical support person, and I put my hand around a lot of technical stuff, so IT related stuff. So yeah.
I like there's this thing about tech people. When you guys want to introduce yourselves, you're always like, I'm into tech and I do other catchy things. What are the catchy things? So that my audience can learn in case we want to, venture into tech. Not telling us catchy, or you tell us off cam.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let's dive directly into the topic. Like I said, we're going to be discussing about cyberbullying and the threat to freedom of speech. And cyberbullying is something that a lot of people, if not all, not all, but a lot of people have actually experienced this in one way or the other. Even if it's not happening to you directly, it's going to have happened to somebody that you know. So we're just going to go, straight into the topic and we discuss, right? So my first question here would be, how do you define cyberbullying? Okay, they say ladies first, but I think Kelechi should go first.
Okay. From my own understanding, I think cyberbullying actually has to do with basically using media, the internet to actually bully someone. So it negates the physical interaction that comes with bullying. It's just using social media platforms or the internet or the web to actually bully individuals or persons.
Okay. So do you agree with that, or do you have any other thing to add?
Yeah.
That's basically it. Okay, thank you. So, what do you think is the role that social media companies play in addressing cyberbullying? Anybody? Or do you want me to point? Can you go? Okay.
Social media is like the basic platform for cyberbullying, right? So in the context of what you send out there, in terms of a person's timeline, and you make silly comments or hurtful comments, that can deter a person's self-esteem.
Yeah.
And even as low as just basic nasty things.
Chit chats,
Exactly.
you go to someone's comments and you make you leave hateful comments, hateful posts. That's cyberbullying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what role do you think, is it that aside having social media, can people also bully you like in the cyberspace, aside, when I say social media, you mean like Facebook, Instagram. So if per adventure, like before, all these things came to existence, were there other places that people can still cyberbully others?
Cyberbully or bully in
Cyberbully,
sense.
cyberbully.
Okay.
Or is it mostly just on social media that we experience stuffs like this?
Okay. Yes. So for me, I don't know, but my generation or the generation that actually met, we were actually open to what they used to call cyber cafe then.
Okay.
So before the advent of social medias, we had the Yahoo Messenger, where people used to talk or have interactions on.
Yeah.
So then I remember seeing something online where they said a guy, Nigerians, I think the guys they call these scam guys, Yahoo boys. So what these guys did was they were actually bullying a guy. They were sending emails to the guy's mail. They're sending email to the guy via Yahoo Messenger, telling him that because the guy was like thinking he was in a relationship with the other person, so he sent some of his private pictures to the person. So sending those private pictures, those guys were not using those pictures against the guy that send so amount, send so amount. So it got to a particular point that this guy started making this guy frustrated to the point that this guy almost committed suicide. So it was not until he opened up to his mom that they actually had to involve the FBI, who actually now works with EFCC and they got these guys. So my point is, the cyberbullying, right? It doesn't really revolve around just the social media.
Okay.
It's also there are some other platforms like the emails. People can actually get emails and do a lot of nasty things there. So once they have your information, a lot of things can actually go down.
Okay, so have any of you experienced cyberbullying? Or have any of you been a cyberbully?
Okay, so I would actually say, so as a Nigerian or as a proper Nigerian guy, so the word is not even cyberbullying. What we actually call it is banter. Yeah.
So remind me. I received my own fair share this afternoon.
So it's pretty much really should I say it's like a national thing that you should actually not feel bad when someone says something bad about you online. You just feel and I just play a banter, but it has psychological effects on people, right? The problem I have with this part of the world is we have actually not taken our mental health seriously. If you go to the HMOs, you will find out that the HMO does not really cover a lot or a whole part of your mental health.
Yeah.
Because there's no legislation that even covers the mental part. There are no legislation that actually makes it really compulsory. So these things are things that we as Nigerians really need to look at, and we as individuals really need to also take important, because of course there's no way a mind that is not healthy will actually produce healthy results.
Okay, and I think there is a particular space where we have this bullying thing on the high rise, right? She make I mention that maybe make I
so there's a reason I actually restricted myself to certain social media.
Okay.
The first social media I actually joined was Facebook, and up to now I still use my Facebook. Because I feel Facebook is a safe space. If I don't want to see some certain things,
Is Facebook safe?
it's safer than the bed app or whatever they call it now.
With the black sign.
Yeah, whatever they call it right now. The alphabet black sign, whatever they call it now. So I kind of feel that space is safer, right? Because I just go there. If I'm not following your page, if I'm not following something that relates to you, there's absolutely no way I'll receive news from that platform. Well, you see that on that particular app, something is trending. They'll tell you, oh, something is trending. People go and check. That's why you now see people now. You don't want to contribute. So it's from that contribution that people start getting. You now see you can actually get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
You might actually just go there innocently, like, oh, you just want to go and see news about you. That's this guy says something interesting. Let me support him. There's somebody just tell you, oh, your head like coconut, and yeah, that's how you just have it, and it starts from you. So,
Like that's what they call straight bullets.
Yeah,
You go just collect, just
exactly,
like that.
Exactly. So it's pretty much crazy.
Okay, so do you think there should be stricter policies? So, for example, in social media spaces where we have things like, I think Facebook has something about reporting hate speech, but I don't know if it's in other platforms too. So, do you think these social media companies should bring about some other proactive measures, or should they have stricter laws in place to be able to curb this kind of things, or do you think what it's not really going to, it's not really going to matter?
Well, I think it actually matters because we're dealing with mental health here. So social media platforms should be able to create, be able to curb what the content you produce. So if in a case where somebody just says something very, very, very maybe nasty or something that can even cause a war, they can just easily remove
Take it out
immediately.
Okay.
And I've seen cases where I think was it not the former president, former Nigerian president, Mr.
Buhari,
President Buhari, where he made a comment that could have been, very derogatory. It was removed. And even Donald Trump.
Yeah. I remember that one too.
So yes, those are measures they can actually, make more. And even when you send illicit or videos or posts of somebody, maybe you make nasty comment by the side, or even sexual videos, there should be a measure to, just remove it completely from the platforms. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So I know I asked before, has any of you experienced cyberbullying before? Have you ever been bullied before in the cyberspace? Confess.
Okay.
Well, I have,
Confess.
but it wasn't so serious. For me, it was a nasty comment on one of my posts on my timeline. So yeah, it affected me a little.
A little?
Yeah.
Did you shake your head? Like,
She shook me small,
you be welcome.
just manage am.
So did you delete the comment or you left it there?
No, I unfollowed the person. Unfollow.
But you did not.
block.
Okay.
Eh?
You blocked.
So,
Okay.
want to be playing with my mental health?
Okay.
So for me, right, it's pretty much funny and it's really weird. So I'm not on the bed app, like I said. So the app that I actually use mostly, which is Facebook. When Facebook just came out, we didn't have good phones to actually take pictures. We just had normal. So I used a picture of Chris Brown. I saw, and I put it there as my profile picture. Then the next picture I would put was a picture I was wearing native. And when I posted that picture, somebody just typed, Ogbomosho Chris Brown. I was like I didn't get, I was like, what is this? Like, I felt bad. That at that point, that was my best picture, no jokes, because then we didn't have the luxury of camera phones and all. That was my best picture, and I felt bad. That picture is still on that particular. In fact, I had to actually open a new Facebook account, right? Because that thing, it messed with my self-esteem. People might not actually really get what they say. They will just say it freely, and the person says he drops it and just goes. It's just like garbage. You just drop a garbage. I leave it there, but you don't know what happens after it has actually been picked. So it is the person that lives with that particular seed that has been planted that understands what that person has actually said. So really, cyberbullying is something that we in this part of the world should actually really pay attention to. I know the legislation about reporting and taking this cyberbullying seriously started, I think, early last year or so. Because initially, before then, nobody really cared about what was happening on this cyberspace. Nobody cared. So after Donald Trump did it, and I think there was an inquiry that they invited the president of Meta, which is Zuckerberg, the house that owns, the company that owns Facebook. They called him and they asked him a couple of questions. He didn't have answers to. And the reason he didn't have answers to, if you watch the particular documentary, you see that this guy at the same time he didn't even mind that we were asking him questions and was I don't have answers, because he had someone that was in on what he was doing. He had someone on the inside. So what I'm trying to say is cyberbullying, in as much as their legislations, I think countries also on their own front should start adopting it. We have countries that their constitutions are still outdated. Look at our part of this country now. We might actually have a lot of older generation in the legislative house, right? And these people, they just use social media. And when they use social media, they are not even the one using it.
They have people operating their accounts for them.
Exactly. So now, when these people are employing people to do their bidding, they don't really understand these modern technologies. So how would you expect someone that sees a guy that is suffering from hunger and the first thing he's thinking about is, wow, let's change our national anthem. So I mean, so there are things, key things. These are key things that one can actually sit down and say, okay. Because I remember the reason Jonathan lost the election was due to cyberbullying. They used a lot of things online.
Are we sure?
They used a lot of things online to actually do a lot of things. So there were a lot of things that happened. They said a lot of things about his wife, said a lot of things about him, and the web or the social media was a great, was very good.
It's all,
to channel this whole aggression. Despite the fact that he had his own shortcomings. That's why I just feel that.
You know, they say the internet never forgets.
Yes.
So like anything you post there is there.
Yeah.
20 years on, like you think you've forgotten about it, someone will just be like, is it not this? It's just like maybe someone that maybe used to be into prostitution or something, like you were advocating for a particular thing, and then all of a sudden after 6 years you believe you've seen the light and you stop advocating for that thing, and then you're like being so passionate saying this thing you're saying, like, you know, I'm for this now, you know, this is how things should be done. Somebody from somewhere would just like, Kidele, was it not this person that was? You get?
I can pick a clip from what you just said. So this is you just said, right? Our first lady. So she was speaking against one particular fashion show, and she was telling you that
Met?
we have Met, yes. So we have a culture of dressing well.
Dressing well, yeah.
So they now brought out a picture.
They gave her own.
And they show our daughter that dressed half nude on a runway show.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, madam is saying this, and this is what she's giving us. So are we saying that this child is not actually raised by the right mother?
But well, I'm not defending her, but then she's giving, you know, a motherly advice. I'm sure she has also given her daughter. But then it's not her that is going to follow it now.
So I have a belief that charity begins at home. Right. So if you have a house and your house is dirty, you're not calling everybody in your street knows that your house is dirty. You're not calling your neighbors that, oh, tomorrow we are going to cut grass and clear all the dustbin on the street. Do you think everyone will look at you that this guy is having some issues? So that's just how it is. That's how it is.
No comments. Okay, so do you think that there is a fine line between freedom of speech and hate speech online? Do you think there's a fine line, or would you say they are the same? Because we've heard some people argue, just like you said, I'm still going to come to the banter stuff you spoke about. Some people will tell you that it's not a big deal, right? I have freedom of speech. I can say what I want to say. Okay, we can use this Erisco tomato as an example. So, in as much as I know that there are still some people, I'm not really focusing on the lady and everything she went through, but I know that there are still some other people that, you know, they said some stuffs about it too. And if you ask them, like, it's my freedom of speech. I'm saying what I think I should say, and I will not be saying something that I don't think is right. To me, is right. Do you get? So do you think there should be a fine line, or is there actually a fine line between freedom of speech and hate speech?
So do you know why I'm laughing?
Why?
You said something, freedom of speech. So the Constitution says you have freedom of speech. But one thing I can assure you is, or I cannot assure you of, is freedom after speech. So the truth is, in as much as you can get away with what you have the right to say whatever you want to say, it does not mean that you will say what is not. Right? The fact that, I can say that I ate a bat today. Yeah. But if you are actually going to go to a place that it is a crime that you are eating about, and you now come out and you eat about, you have freedom to say what you ate, yes. But they will come and carry you that, you ate a bat. We say nobody should eat a bat. But you have that freedom of speech. So my point is, right, there are certain things that you don't just come out to say if you don't have verifiable information. Now, I remember, was it 2 months back, where someone just came out and said the Mercy Chinwo's child looks like Nathan Ebasi. Now, these are things. She has freedom of speech. She can say whatever she wants to say. But after it, they sued her.
Where is your backup? Like,
exactly.
What do you have as proof?
Exactly. So you can actually say whatever you want to say, right? Fine. But when you are actually saying what you want to say, try to put a limit around it. Nigeria is a free state. We have sovereignty, but it does not mean we don't have external control. There are measures they actually use to control us. So there's the freedom. The word is freedom of speech, yes, but there is control of speech. There are certain mechanisms that have been put in place that actually controls what you say what you
Okay.
do, and the way you even say it.
The way
There's
you
some,
say
yeah.
it.
So like, I know I have friends that are in the media field,
Space, yeah.
and they actually told me that there are some certain things you don't say on air.
That's true.
So there are some certain things you don't say on air. So when you now come out and say, "Oh, I have freedom of speech, so I can say what I want to say," you can't say everything you want
You
to
will
say.
answer for it.
So because there are some certain things you cannot say, there are some things that you will say will instigate war, like she mentioned,
Yeah.
and there are some certain things you would actually say that would actually take you to a point where people will look at you in a certain manner. Now, I was actually seeing a series, and this man was saying certain things. This man changed the whole black race. Martin Luther King. He made a speech. That speech is one of the greatest speeches I've ever heard, and it changed the whole black race. It made them what? It reawakened everybody. Now, that is freedom of speech. And because he wanted, at that point, right, he had freedom of speech, yes, but the whites were against what he said.
Okay.
Because they felt, oh, this guy went to the extreme. You are still white supremacists, that's KKK guys. They are there. So he said it. He was killed. So that's why I said you can actually say things.
So you have freedom of speech, but you're not
Your
sure of
freedom
freedom after speech.
Yes, it's not guaranteed.
So meaning that before you say anything that you want to say, you have to be sure, and you should have verifiable facts.
Exactly. Yes.
Should you be ready to die for what you say?
So as a man, as a man, right? As a man, one thing I know about men is if they believe in something, they want to stick out their neck for it.
Which one is as a man? Eh?
Yeah, no, the reason I'm saying as a man, like, it's right in quotes, is because I mean humans. So if you believe in something, you want to lay it down. For instance, if you believe that, oh, if I don't eat, I will die. You want to go and hustle for money now to buy food.
To buy food to eat.
So yeah, so our belief actually drives us most times as humans.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Something else I wanted to mention is about this banter thing you said. Oh my God, they gave me my own fair share today. Let me not mention the person's name, but wherever you are, my God will judge you. Imagine me on a Sunday afternoon that I just came out from church, like in the spirit, shouting hallelujah.
Did you go to church?
Why wouldn't I go to church? Not like you.
I just had to.
And somebody just picked up his phone, and the only thing he could tell me, okay, there is this application we are trying to have a go at, and there are some tasks that we needed to do on the application. So I was like, this application you're telling me about is not really going the way I think it should go, per se. So the next thing he told me was, why are you misunderstanding me? I said, how am I misunderstanding you? And then from the misunderstanding part, the next thing I heard was, anyway, it's possible you are stressed. I understand what Chelsea is doing to you. Like,
Oh wow.
like,
Oh, you're a Chelsea fan.
excuse me,
Wow.
excuse me, please, thank you. So it's part of cyberbullying. People should stop bullying us. Stop bullying Chelsea fans. You should stop bullying all the fans. Leave Arsenal alone. Leave Chelsea alone.
What? You said
You can bully Man U, you
So
know.
what?
Eh?
You should leave who alone.
Leave Arsenal alone.
But they are the gunners now. They are gone.
Leave. Back to the topic. Back to the topic. So, is there any government parastatal in Nigeria currently that handles cyberbullying?
Okay, so
Any government agency?
this is a very tricky question, but I would say to the best of my knowledge. So I know there was a time the previous government actually banned the bed space.
Yeah.
They banned it. So it was actually through I think a department, the Ministry of Information. Was it the Ministry of Information?
But I don't think they handle stuff like that.
Yeah, so they do, because I think the Ministry of Information
They can ban it, but I'm not sure they can can help you get a safe space.
So my point is, right, the reason they actually banned that space was because we are seeing a lot of hate space was actually going on in that particular space, and we are not doing anything about it.
Okay.
So that was why it was banned. So what I'm saying is that particular ministry is bodied or is given the power to actually do all that. But then the functionality of that particular body to carry out its function now lies with the government, because we know the way things are in Nigeria. Like I would always say, right, the least people you can bank on is actually the government most times. though I'm not trying to downplay anybody, but I just feel a lot can actually be done in that regards, because it's a situation whereby you have people saying a lot of things about people online and getting away with it is really really silly, right? For instance, I know there was a time I saw something online and somebody just woke up and did something online. I was like, I'm not on the best fit, but I just saw it as my colleague in the office just called me. I was like, oh, see what I saw? I was like, no, you people don't really think about other people. You just think about that your seconds of happiness or joy
Or,
that banter,
trending.
that trend, brings to you.
Yeah.
But you don't think about this guy. There are some people that have actually, okay, so I remember there was a time they said their bodies that were unaccounted for, that they found inside Third Mainland Bridge. There are people that have just parked their car and jumped. Now, we don't, because of the statistics we don't really have in this part of the world, we don't know the causes for those things. Like, so if you go back to the United States, there are people that, because of this social media bullying, tomorrow they just, like, you bully me, like something happened. Let's say, for instance, I know I've seen some movies where those guys, they will bully them in the school and they will have a very terrible picture of them and they'll take it back. Oh, take that picture, and then now start sending it amongst themselves, probably in a group that they belong to on social media. So when they find the guy, man, just tomorrow the guy will just go home. If his father has a gun, in fact, virtually everybody has it. So you just go and just go spray everybody in your. You won't even if the people working. So these things actually has psychological effects. So if we are going to actually start talking about it, we should start now, because we are a reflection of what we give.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If we start dissecting this, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to end this podcast. Like, it's a whole, cyberbullying is a whole lot of, like, there are a whole lot of information and a whole lot of things that people need to know about. There has to be a lot of sensitization and a whole lot of things to be said, and a whole lot of learnings and relearning and unlearning. So thank you so much for your points, and they are very, very valid. Do you have any last words before we wrap up, Cynthia? Anything at all to say concerning cyberbullying?
Well, I feel like the younger generation, that's let me not say the younger generation, but more like our kids and teens that we have right now. They are very open to social media. So I think parents should have, parental control in place to curb what, because if imagine us as adults getting affected. Imagine what you can do to a child. Yeah. So there should be parental measures to measure what they can see and how they can, communicate on social media.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been nice having the both of you in the studio with me. And guys, we're going to have a wrap here. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you for tuning in. And until we come your way next time, remember to be proactive. Remember to be what again? To be proactive, to be what again? I thought you are in the spirit. Just remember to be proactive and stay safe, guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.